Hello, Richard Fox. My name is Paula Schmitz from Healing Naturally. You are in beautiful California, and I'm in freezing Wisconsin after spending some time in Florida. So I would like, first of all, to thank you for this interview, for being willing to do it, as you're part of my Healing Naturally Facebook group. And I found your posts in my group so fascinating about autopathy that perked my interest in asking you further questions on what you do. And you just told me that you are a homeopath. You study homeopathy in London, and you have been practicing homeopathic medicine for the last 50 years. And you look great being 80 years old. So I have to congratulate you for an incredible career and a wealth of knowledge and being willing to share it with us. Now, the topic that you started describing in our Facebook group, and I want to delve into it from the very beginning, is that water, the magic is in the water. Could you explain what this statement means with regard to viruses, bacteria, candida, fungus, microplasma, and parasites?
Well, water is the magic that takes on any energetic, shall we say, energy. And so we as homeopaths will take flowers and roots and parts of animals and minerals, and we'll go ahead and put them in water, and then we'll give them circussion, which is bangs on a book. And by the dilution circussion process, we magnify the effects of these particular things that we're trying to make a homeopathic remedy out of. And so we have a huge computer in our brains, and these get glitches, and these homeopathic remedies will act like an antivirus program and go into the brain and fix these glitches. So I've been doing this for, as I say, 50 years. And what's going on with that is we've developed a program now called Radar Opus. It costs $7,000. You can put all the symptoms in there and it'll come up with possible remedies. And so we'll have the top one, the next one, the next one. And we look at those and see how it matches the patient. And we give them and we see how they work. And if it works well, then we go for a while. It may burn off that layer. And then we go to the next layer if there is one. And we proceed. So I came across this science of autopathy about 2 years ago. And it makes all of the homeopathic science pale in comparison. It's basically advanced homeopathy. One of the things that it has in it is how to get rid of any virus, bacteria, candida, et cetera, et cetera. So how you do that is you go ahead and you buy some test tubes. You can get them on eBay. You get rimless 13 millimeter by 135 millimeter test tubes.
Yes, you sent the link to me, and we will paste it in the comments section of this video. So yeah, we will share that. Sorry for this quick interruption. You said you came across this advanced form of homeopathy 2 years ago, but this has existed for years before you discovered it, right?
Yes. The fellow, from my understanding, Yuri Savosky started this search about 18 years ago. So he's a 30-year veteran homeopath, and then he starts searching into the Tibetan way of healing. And he saw that the Tibetans were using a very similar thing that the homeopaths were using. And he put them together, and he came up with this very simple, outstanding way to cure people. So he has a way to heal any physical disease, any autoimmune disease, and any mental disease. And
mental diseases?
Mental disease.
Oh my goodness, like dementia?
Yeah, everything, no problem. Anyway, and then the fourth thing is how to get rid of any virus and bacteria and etc. So we're just going to concentrate on the virus and bacteria. So what happens with science, well, first of all, we kill viruses and bacteria and candidas and parasites all the time. We don't even get any symptoms. But there's a few of those that have a very special gift from nature. It's called a cloaking device. So some of them will actually take tissues after they've destroyed tissue in our bodies, and will wrap themselves with it so our body can't see it. So when it's attacking our bodies know something's going on, but it can't see it. So it goes ahead and causes what they call a cascade effect. So the high fevers and the sweating and all the diarrheas and all these different things that happen for the body to get rid of this virus or bacteria. So science came along and said, I wonder if we go ahead and we take some of this bacteria, the smallpox was the first one they played with, and we go ahead and kill it and then put it back into the host if that would make any difference. So they did, and what they did, they put it on the outside of your arm and they scratched it. So they advanced that to, they've got these, 12 needles that go into for smallpox vaccination. And they found that it worked really well. So they thought, well, maybe this will work for viruses. So what they do now, they went through a lot of different stages and trials. So what they do now is they get Fred's virus and they make a big serum out of that. So when they go ahead and do that, they kill it. And then they have to put an irritant in it. Otherwise, your body won't bother with it. So they either put arsenic, aluminum, or mercury in it. Not enough to hurt.
Incredibly neurotoxins.
Oh, well. Anyway, not enough to hurt you, but enough to get your immune system to say, whoa, who are you? So that's how vaccines work now, until we came out with this new nonsense they're coming out with, but I won't get into that.
Yeah.
So Yuri Shavansky, saw that. So what he's doing is he takes his, well, we'll just say we're taking a test tube, and you take some water in your mouth, you swish it around, and this is when you are first getting sick, or you can be sick, but it's better when you first catch it because you won't have many symptoms. If you do, it'll just catch it right away and it'll just go away.
And it has to be filtered or distilled water, right?
Filtered, distilled, or well water works okay too. Evidently the chlorine and the ammonia, fluoride, the spring
water.
Real problem. So then you swish it around in your mouth, and then you spit into a test tube, so it's about a third full. So now you've got whatever pathogen that's bothering you. So you take it over to your stove and you boil it for 30 seconds. And now you've got all the dead bodies of the pathogens that are bothering you. So now you've got to get the body to recognize it. So the trick that he uses, instead of using mercury, aluminum, or arsenic, he goes over and he puts water into it for 1 minute with a stream. So if you use a water filter system, it's got a little faucet on the side of your sink. You turn it off, and it'll go into the test tube and come out in a swirling motion, going into the test tube and coming out again and running down the sink is the dilution succussion process, the same as we use in homeopathy.
Yes.
And after 1 minute, we have a homeopathic remedy of your particular virus or bacteria that's bothering you. And you take a little bit under your tongue, hold it there for 15 seconds, and your body says, whoa, who are you? It recognizes it, and then it just gets rid of it like it does all the other viruses and bacteria.
So let me back up a touch. You said that when you swirl this water, you should fill a third of the test tube, right? Right. So that means that you will complete with the other 2/3 from the tap water or filtered water, right? To dilute that. Did I understand correctly?
No, okay. So you got a third full.
Yes.
Okay. Now you take it to your stove. You got a little test tube holder, it's a piece of metal bracket thing they have, or you can use a clothespin. And then you heat it up and you boil it for 30 seconds.
Yes, I understood. You boil it, but after boiling, you still will have a third, right?
Yeah. So now you run a steady stream not just filling it up, but a steady stream running into the test tube and running out again for 60 seconds.
Okay.
See, that's the hard part. People can't get their mind
Yes.
wrapped around. Well, how in the
Yes.
world is this going to work? There's not going to be anything left in the bottom of the test tube. Well,
Exactly.
the energy is being magnified by the dilution and the swirling of the water. That's the magic of the water. That's the magic of homeopathy. That's the
It's
basis of
incredible
homeopathy.
because what is remaining in the solution, in the remedy, what remains from that first third that you spat in the first place? How much of that remains?
Oh, probably the number is so small that I can't even say the number. In the quadrillions of whatever was there.
Okay,
But
I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out, and I do understand that the body recognizes it, and then that is a boost for the immune system like no other, right? That is amazing. How smart we were made by the creator of the universe, right? That it can recognize such a small dose because that dose contains our DNA. So this is the bottom line. You are healing your body with your own DNA instead of resorting to these incredible manufactured ones that we don't know what will do after they are inoculated as foreign objects into our bodies, right? So everybody can make their own decisions. I'm not trying to influence people in one way or another, but we have to know what we're doing before making a decision. And if I can go much more safely with my own DNA, I vote for that, right?
absolutely, because if you're using the vaccine the manufacturer, you're using Fred's DNA.
Exactly.
That's why they have to have 4 years of trials to make sure that the adverse effects aren't too bad on most of the public.
Exactly.
So this is what's going on. So you're using your own DNA and you're getting your body to recognize whatever pathogen is bothering you.
Exactly. Well, I find this absolutely fascinating. And my videos for Healing Naturally are like hooks. I want people to actually buy into your publications, your papers, and hopefully together with Clay, that is a common friend, right? We will start soon enough, and Cecilia and Vanessa and other Healing Natural warriors, I call people joining my group, we will start these online courses because I don't want the interview to end here. I want the interviews to be a springboard or a starting point for something much deeper, which is an online course. When you start teaching these things in modules, one can be like this one for viruses, because we're still under the COVID era. Hopefully it will end soon. But next, another chapter can be autoimmune diseases. Okay, I want to interview you again on how to use the breath methods to heal naturally from autoimmune diseases. And that will trigger another online course on that, and it's so wonderful because once these nuggets of knowledge are put into online courses, they can be spread all over the world. And the number of people, it has a ripple effect. The number of people that you can help can be amazing, Richard. And I can see that you do some nutritional interventions in that kitchen. You have so many pans and pots and like apothecary, something like that, in your own kitchen.
There you
I
go.
always have a problem pronouncing that word for some reason. Okay, so everything adds to our health, and it's so fascinating. So we will wrap up our interview here and leave everybody wanting to know more. And I will put your contact information in the video description so people can contact you that way. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so thank you so very much for being with me today. And is there anything else you would like to end this conversation with, or appeal to common sense?
I would advise everybody to buy the book, The Autopathy Handbook by Yuri Shavatsky. You can get it on Amazon for about $13.
Okay.
And this whole method is so simple and it's so easy. It's really great.
Yes. I had a Swiss girl that was trained here in the US, and we had a retreat in Argentina, in La Cumbre, a beautiful city in the mountainous region of my home province of Cordoba. And this Swiss girl that was trained here in a method called rebirthing, it was unbelievable. We were like 30 people lying on the floor doing deep breathing exercises, you know, for a whole day. And it was such an incredible detox, not just for the body, but for the mind. And so we will kind of stir some interest in having and in listening to your second interview soon. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Richard, for joining me. And stay tuned when this video will be uploaded to YouTube and then published to the group. Okay? Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye. Bye.